slideshow. So one of the things that I struggled with when I first started my first business from home, which was about 10 years ago, was the idea of promoting during the holidays, because I felt like I was competing with all of these big box businesses, right? I felt like I was competing with, the Macy's and the Target and the Amazon, Amazon Days and all of this. And I had this thought in my head that it wasn't really worth doing holiday promotion because nobody was going to listen to me. And I couldn't have been further from correct, right? You absolutely should be doing something to promote your business during the holidays. And this is the way that I think about promotions, and that I also teach my clients and people that take my courses to think about promotions as well. These are the 4 P's of marketing. So for those of you that have been in the marketing and ad world for a long time, you know what they are. They're product, place, price, and promotion. And each time you get ready to do any kind of promotion, just start with these and say to yourself, okay, what is the product? What is it that I'm going to be offering? Many of you have multiple products in your business. You don't have just one thing. But I think during the holiday season, it's great to hone in on and really target something specifically that can help people. Maybe that's a particular service that you offer, or a particular product that's very giftable, or something that people would be really interested in at this time of the year. Who's it for? You really do also need to niche down. You need to know who that audience is and who it is you're going to be talking to with this offer that you put out, and why do they need it? So especially for us as solopreneurs, I stand on a soapbox and as entrepreneurs, and I say that there are some things that will absolutely always set you apart. I think about Tanya, she has makeup, or Andrea, who has, a coaching and wellness program. There's Weight Watchers out there. There's Clinique, there's Ulta. How could Tanya possibly compete with Ulta? Well, do the people at Ulta know your name when you walk in the door? No, they don't. They don't know your name, right? They're not giving you personal service. They're not speaking to you in that way. They're just there to do their job and go home at the end of the day. And where you have the opportunity is really in building relationships. So understanding your audience and what makes you different, and why your audience really needs what it is that you have, and being able to speak to those points is critical. The next thing you're going to want to think about with your holiday promotion is, where are you going to be promoting it? Where is the offer going to be made? And this particular time of year, one thing that comes up a lot for solopreneurs and for small businesses is events. There are tons and tons of events that happen at this particular time of year. Maybe it's a networking event like this. Maybe it's an event where you can have a booth. Maybe it's an event where you can give a talk or add some value, or maybe it's an event where you can sell your product right there. So if you're going to be doing events, where are they? When are they? What do they look like? If you're not going to be doing events in person, are you going to be doing some online? Are you going to be promoting to existing customers through an email list? Are you going to be using social media? Are you going to be using your profile? Are you going to be using a group that you're in? Are you going to create a group? Are you going to be part of other people's groups? Where is it that you're going to be talking about what it is you do and this promotion that you're going to eventually put out there? Then I think with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, you absolutely have to think about your price point. What is the price point of the product that you're going out in the market with? And is there any kind of special that you're going to be offering? Is there a promo? Is there a BOGO? Is there an upsell? Is there something you're going to be providing to people and it's a special? You need to know what that is, and it needs to be really clear, right? No confusion around pricing, because if people are confused about the price, they won't buy. Confused minds generally don't make decisions. So if they don't know what the heck's going on with your price, then how can they do business with you? And in furthering that idea of a special or a discount, make sure that people also really understand what's the true value. So if your product is normally $99, but for Black Friday or for your holiday promotion, you're going to be offering it for $79, I think it's great for people to know the extra value that they're receiving. So don't be afraid to communicate that and to make sure that people know what it is. And then lastly, you're going to have to decide, how are you going to promote this thing, which I already talked about a little bit, but do you have an email list, either one that you have been building or maybe one that you're thinking about purchasing? Are you bringing leads in any other way? We talked a little bit about events, social media, and then promotion includes follow-up. Okay, promotion is not just waving the flag the first time and hoping that people are going to do business with you. It truly, all of the magic happens in the follow-up. They say now that on average, it's around 14 exposures before somebody will make a buying decision. and that your average time to make an impression with your exposure, I've heard of varying statistics on this lately, but it's anywhere from about 3 to 7 seconds. So you have 3 to 7 seconds to make an impression, and you need to do it between 7 and 14 times before somebody is highly likely to say, yes, I'm ready to do business with you. So that's why networking like this is so important. That's why joining groups, that's why making connections, that's why meeting people, building up your referral network, regardless of what your business is, because you really do have to get accustomed to that steady drumbeat of promotions in order for things to work. So what about how you get started? So these are just some highlights that I wanted to provide to everybody. I'm a big fan of working backwards. So start with the end in mind. When is it that you want your campaign or your promotion to start? If you've never done anything like this, I will tell you the holidays are a great time because the timing is almost already pre-created for you, right? There's some expectations in the marketplace that we're going to be out there around Black Friday. We're going to be out there around Cyber Monday. We're going to be out there around Small Business Saturday. We're going to have an opportunity for people to do business with us in December. So people are accustomed to being promoted too at this time of the year. So if you have that story that you're telling yourself that, you know, you're not going to stand out or that nobody wants to hear from you, now is the time to promote your business. And now is also the time to try something new. But use your calendar to back into the dates that you need. So get out your calendar. I don't care if it's paper. I don't care if it's electronic. I don't care how you do it. And write in all of the things that you have. If you have those events, write them in. If you have a specific date that you're going to offer something, write that in, and then back into the timing of when you need to be communicating to people about it. We're almost at the end of October. Crazy. This year is like every year seems to go by faster. I don't know. But this last month in particular has flown by for me. So planning your communication. I hope that you have an email list and that you are building one, because as a small business owner, this is one of the biggest things that you can do to have that steady drumbeat. Some people, I'll tell you, I used to work in direct response marketing, which is all about sending mail to people. And I used to work for a company where we would send about 45 million pieces of mail a year. 45 million pieces of mail, postcards, letters, flyers, catalogs, like so much mail. And at one point in time, somebody said to me, well, mail is dead. Nobody's going to be, 5 years from now, this was like, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, somebody's like 5 years from now, nobody's going to even open the mail in their mailbox anymore. And I was like, that is just completely untrue. People are always going to open their mail. And now people are saying the same thing about email. Oh, email is dead. Nobody opens the email. It's all about social media. But I will tell you, you don't control social media. You don't control Facebook. Do you guys remember it was about a year ago, right about now, that Facebook had that outage for about 24, 36 hours. And people are freaking out because they have no way to get in touch with their customers because they've completely relied on social media. If you take the time to build an email list, then when you come up around the holidays, you have all of these people that you can communicate with for this next promotion that you've got. And I believe that multi-step campaigns are the best, meaning you can't hope to just drop one email in somebody's box and expect that to be enough. You really do need to be doing a multi-step piece with people and encourage them to engage with you. Social media, I think it's all about getting intentional with your posts, and it's also all about getting comfortable using video. They're saying that within the next few years, the great majority of social content is going to become short form video. So this is a great time for you to learn those skills and to practice using them. I'm also a huge fan of two-step posts. Two-step posts are what I like to think of as like permission-based marketing. Hey, I have this thing. This is who it's for. If this sounds like you, make a comment below. Allow people to raise their hand in social media and allow them to say, hey, I think I might like what you have, right? Because that makes your job easier. We only want to market to the people who are interested in what it is we have. That's targeted marketing rather than just blanketed marketing. So we want to make sure that we're really smart about that. Well, one way to do it is to say, hey, do you want what I have? If you do, tell me so that I can help you out, right? That's the idea of a two-step post. You also want to build some urgency. You can do some things in early November with your social content to build up toward the offers that you're going to be having later on in the month and into the season. And then also consider where you're posting. You need to use your reels, you need to use your stories, you need to use your own profile, your business page if you have one, but you also can leverage other people's groups. You can leverage other opportunities. Just like today, you're all here listening into this and meeting one another. This is an opportunity for you to promote and gain contact information. Everyone's put their email into this list. How many of you were thinking about sending an email to each person that's here today saying, great to meet you. Would you like to be on my list, right? And then again, we talked about events, plan when those are going to be. And then also don't forget to plan that follow-up, track the interest. If you do that two-step post on social media and you ask who is interested, please don't just use Messenger as the way that you're tracking your leads. You really need to have a system in place that allows you to keep in touch with the people who've asked to be in touch with. And when you're first starting out, that might be an Excel spreadsheet. It might not be something super fancy or sophisticated, but it's easy to step into a low-cost system that allows you to automate and track those things truly like a real business, right? Truly like a real business. And that will really help you keep on top of your follow-up. And then will you extend your offer, right? What I mean here in your follow-up is I have a friend that has sold Cutco for years and years and years, and I learned a great tip from her. She does a lot of big events like county fairs, like huge ones, where they have 20, 30, 40,000 people that come to the fair. And she always has a special going on at the fair where you can get this set of knives for this set price. And it's a really great deal. She always extends her promotion to the Tuesday following. All those events usually end on a Sunday. She always extends it for 48 more hours. And she uses that as a reason to follow up with people and say, hey, it's not too late for you to get into the XYZ promotion or special. Are you still interested? Do you want to grab it before it's gone? So as you're thinking about your promos specifically tied to the holiday season, think about how you're going to extend that beyond so that you can, give people a little bit more time, because let's admit it, aren't you expecting your inbox to just blow up? All about the last week of November here. I know, Tanya, you've already had Thanksgiving up in Canada, but we get to repeat it down here. And I think you all do a Black Friday there as well. That's in time with ours down here. So last tips that I have around really getting started with your holiday promotion is to be prepared, right? Product delivery. Are you ready? Lisa can probably tell you, you got to send an email that says, hey, thank you for your purchase. Here's what you should expect to have happen next. Maybe your product is delivered electronically. Maybe it's a course, maybe it's a workbook, maybe it's an ebook. Make sure that they're getting it. Or if it's an item that they're going to receive, make sure that they know when they're going to be getting it. And even if you're partnered with a third-party company and your company does a lot of that communication for you, I highly recommend that you be in touch independently, because you want to brand yourself. You want to be the one that person thinks about doing business with. So like Irene's with a company called Threads that has beautiful jewelry. We want people to think of Irene and her brand as paramount and that she's partnered with Threads. So if they're hearing from her as well as hearing from the company, it just really closes the loop and that circle there. If you are doing your own inventory and shipping, then you want to make sure that you're ready, right? Are you going to be prepared for the number of sales that are coming in and for shipping out your items, making sure that's ready to go? You also need to make sure that your point of purchase is working. Test it, test it, test it, right? If you're using a website or a funnel and you're responsible for your own checkout process, make sure that you're going to be ready for the volume that you're getting and that your checkout process works, that people's cards are charged appropriately, that there's not double charges or that they're not declines or things like that happening. So test your systems. And then lastly, communication. Create your content in advance. You already know what your offer is going to be, when you're going to put it out there, what it's going to look like. You can create those social posts, you can create those emails, all of them in advance, and you can schedule them into that calendar that you're going to create for your holiday promotions, saying, oh yes, email number 1 is going to drop on the 5th. Email number 2 is going to drop on the 7th. And on the 8th, I'm going to go live and I'm going to have my product and I'm going to talk about my product and talk about the value of the product. And I'm going to say to people, you're not going to want to miss the Black Friday special that's coming up in 2 weeks. If this is interesting to you, comment below so I'll make sure that you can get my coupon, or I'll make sure that you get the offer, right? You can schedule all of those things so that when you sit down at your desk on any given day, you know exactly what to do. right? You have a plan and you can follow that plan. You don't have to have scheduling tools and automation tools if you're not yet at that part in your business, that's okay. But if you are, and you want to move into those kinds of things, now is a great time to set them up. So I don't know if any of you all have tips for holiday promotions that you'd like to share today, maybe a success story from last year or something that you've experienced as being a small business owner. But if you do, just raise your hand and I'll have you unmute and share what that might be. Anybody have a holiday promo tip that they want to share with the group? None today. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. So I want to give you guys also a sneak preview of what I'm going to be doing for my holiday promotion. Oh, Nicola raised her hand. So Nick, what do you have? Am I missing you?
First of all, I will say you all just had a 5.1 earthquake experience here. I don't know if you saw me distracted, but we just had a crazy earthquake. So
oh my gosh! Well, and your camera,
the car was rocking like crazy. It was weird. But I think for me, I choose not to do the Christmas holiday. I do a New Year because people are typically thinking about travel in the new year. It's like, okay, get the holidays kind of out the way. So I kind of decided a few years ago that the holiday messaging was not really great around Thanksgiving and Christmas because it just didn't align with where people's thoughts were like in the new year. So we typically get good traction in the new year.
That's awesome. Yeah. And
so it just depends on the product, I think. Yeah.
It totally depends on the product, and it totally depends on what you're having out there. Like I'm thinking of Lindsay, you know, she's providing the product that people are probably promoting over the holiday. So her holiday promotion probably started, you know, even a couple of months ago and helping her clients get ready for that. But now she could, you know, tell stories. She could tell stories about like, look at this amazing thing that, you know, this is the type of thing that I provide. This is the kind of thing that I do. So her offer may be more for a percentage off of a future order, for example. And she's just going to tell the story of her current clients now. So just get creative around really, it's not about you. None of this marketing, none of this promotion, none of it is about you. You're the backdrop, right? Really what it's about is who you serve and how you can help them and speaking to them in a way that is going to allow them to want to do business with you. Then you can pull in the piece that talks about you, right? Then you can pull in the piece that says, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing. So on that note, I just want to share with all of you also really quickly, I'm going to be doing a, if I can pull it up, I am going to be doing a planning workshop in December. And I'm really excited about it because I know from having worked with a lot of different entrepreneurs over the last 10 years that oftentimes entrepreneurs are planning the current, like their new year in February. You know, they're like, oh my gosh, the holidays just happened. I was so busy. I kind of, you know, slowed down a little bit in January. And now all of a sudden it's Valentine's Day and I don't even have a business plan for the year. And I don't have a marketing plan for the year. So what I decided to do was actually put on a planning workshop that is happening on the 13th of December. And this is the information I put together about it. You'll see it later promoted into the group, but this is the kind of thing that you can put together prior to, right? This is what I'm saying. Know what your promotion is going to be and put it out there. This is a Passion to Purpose 2023 planning workshop. And really what it's designed to do is help you to plan intuitively. My argument for entrepreneurs is that you actually already know what it is you want. You just haven't taken the time and don't have the structure or the processes to put together the things that you need in order to plan out your year. But if you just sat down for 90 minutes and went through a process that I will tell you is proven, it's a process I've used for the last 30 years in planning different campaigns and different years and goal setting, that you really know what you want and that your year can be less stressful if you just take the time to plan it out. So with the workshop, you actually get a planning workbook that will allow you to plan every single month for the whole year. So this is an interactive workbook that you can print out. It's an ebook and it gives you a structure to plan every single month for your entire year. You get the 90-minute workshop, and then you also get the workshop replay, because I know all of us are busy and you might not be able to make it and join us live on the 13th of December. But if you can't, you get the replay, so you can do the workshop yourself. And then throughout the year, if you're like, oh, wait a minute, I kind of need to replan, I need to readjust, which we always know we have to do as entrepreneurs, then you would have the context to be able to go back and revisit that and do it again. So if that's something that interests you, the information will be in the group, or you can just check it out at sidegigurus.com/2023 plan and go ahead and get registered for that now if you'd like to, for the end of December.